Alright, let's cut through the noise. You're here because you felt it, that nagging sense that you're stuck in a loop, like a spaceship caught in a low orbit, circling the same old patterns no matter how hard you push the thrusters. You wake up with big dreams, visions of a life that's bold, free, maybe even world-changing. You want to build something extraordinary, live with purpose, maybe colonize your own personal Mars. But by the end of the day, you're back in the same headspace, doubt, frustration, or that creeping feeling you're not enough. Sound familiar? That's not a coincidence. That's not bad luck. That's the loop of observation, and it's keeping you locked in a reality you've outgrown. But here's the kicker. You're not stuck because you're broken. You're stuck because you haven't yet claimed the raw, universe-shifting power that's already inside you. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine your life as a vinyl record spinning on a turntable. The needle stuck in a groove, playing the same tired riff over and over. You want to hear the whole symphony, new notes, new rhythms, a melody that lifts you to the stars. But the needle keeps skipping back to the same old scratch. I'm not ready. This is too hard. I need to prove myself first. That's not your life. That's just the story you've been replaying, and the universe is listening to every word. Here's the truth, and I'm not sugarcoating it. You're not just living in this reality, you're creating it. Every thought, every emotion, every unconscious habit is a signal you're beaming out to the quantum field. And that field, it's like a cosmic mirror, reflecting back exactly what you're putting out there. You're not a passenger on this ride. You're the one steering the ship. Now, let's get real for a second. I've been there, years ago, when I was grinding through the early days of SpaceX. There were moments when it felt like the universe was conspiring to keep me grounded. Rockets failing, budgets bleeding, the world telling me it was impossible to touch the stars. I could have bought into that story, could have let the needle stay stuck on failure or not enough. But something clicked. In a quiet moment, staring at a starry sky, I realized I didn't need to fight the universe. I needed to align with it. I didn't need to force my way to Mars. I needed to become the version of myself who was already building that future. That's when things started shifting, not with a bang, but with a whisper. A clarity so sharp it cut through the noise. You felt that whisper too, haven't you? That fleeting moment when you know there's something bigger waiting for you, something that feels like destiny calling your name. Here's where it gets wild. Quantum physics backs this up. The observer effect says reality doesn't just happen, it collapses into form based on where you point your attention. Think of it like a 3D printer for the universe. Your focus is the blueprint, and the quantum field is the machine spitting out the reality you've designed. If your focus is on lack, struggle, or I'll never get there, guess what gets printed? More of the same. But if you shift that focus, if you point the needle to a new groove, one that says, I'm already there, I'm already enough, the universe has no choice but to deliver. It's not magic, it's mechanics. The quantum field doesn't care how hard you've worked or how many all-nighters you've pulled. It only cares about the signal you're broadcasting. And the clearest signal? It lives in simplicity. This is where most people trip up. We're wired to think big wins come from big fights. Society glorifies the grind, 100-hour work weeks, blood, sweat, and tears. If it's too easy, it must not be real, right? Wrong. The quantum field doesn't give a damn about your hustle points. It's not keeping score of how many obstacles you've climbed over. It's reading your frequency, and the cleanest frequency is the one that's unclouded by complexity. Simplicity scares the hell out of your ego because it strips away the excuses. If it's really that simple, if you can shift your reality just by shifting your focus, what was all the struggle for? What does that say about the identity you've built around, I have to earn it? That's the real gut punch. Simplicity forces you to face the truth. You've been holding the keys to your own rocket ship this whole time. Let's break it down. You're not stuck because the world's against you. You're not stuck because you're missing some secret formula. You're stuck because you're still filtering reality through an old lens, one that's been shaped by years of conditioning, by stories you didn't even choose. Maybe it's, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the resources, or I need to wait for the perfect moment. Those aren't facts. They're programs, and you've been running them on autopilot. But here's the good news. You can rewrite the code. You don't need a PhD in quantum mechanics or a decade of meditation retreats. You just need to wake up to what you're broadcasting, pause for a second, feel it. What's the energy you're putting out when you're alone, when the world's not watching? What's the story playing in your head when you're not trying to impress anyone? That's your signal. And that's what the universe is mirroring back to you. I'll tell you about a moment that hit me like a bolt of lightning. It was during a tough stretch at Tesla, when it felt like everything was on the line. Production delays, skeptics screaming we'd fail. I was lying awake at 3 a.m., my mind racing, trying to solve every problem at once. Then, out of nowhere, I stopped. I asked myself, what if this isn't about solving the problem? What if it's about who I'm being while I face it? That shift in perspective was like flipping a switch. Instead of fighting the chaos, I started embodying the version of myself who'd already solved it. Not by forcing solutions, but by trusting the process, by trusting myself. The next day, things didn't magically fix themselves, but I moved differently. I spoke with more clarity, made decisions with more confidence. The universe started aligning people, resources, ideas showed up. Not because I begged for them, but because I'd tuned my signal to match the outcome. You've had moments like that too, haven't you? When you stop pushing and something just clicks, when you feel a clarity so deep, it's almost unsettling. That's not random. That's the quantum field responding to you. It's the universe saying, I see you, I hear you. But here's the catch. Most people pull back from that clarity because it feels too simple, too easy. Their ego jumps in, demanding proof, demanding struggle. If it's this clear, I must be missing something. No, you're not missing anything. You're just not used to the power of simplicity. You're not used to the idea that you don't have to earn your transformation, you just have to claim it. Let's talk about why this matters, and why it's bigger than just you. You're not here to just fix your own life. You're here to be a pioneer in a global shift, a wave of consciousness that's sweeping across the planet. Think about it. Every time you break free from your own loop, you're sending a signal to the collective. You're proving it's possible. You're showing the world that we don't have to stay stuck in old patterns, old systems, old limits. You're part of something massive, an evolution of human potential that's as ambitious as colonizing Mars or building a neural network for the stars. But it starts with you, with your signal, with your choice to step out of the loop and into the truth. So, what's holding you back? It's not the world. It's not your circumstances. It's the story you're still telling yourself. The one that says you need to do more, be more, fight more. That story's a lie. The truth is, you're already wired for this. You're already a creator, a signal generator, a quantum architect. The only question is, are you ready to own it? Are you ready to lift the needle off the scratched record and choose a new song? Because the universe is waiting. It's waiting for you to stop chasing and start being. To stop proving and start embodying, to stop waiting for permission and start broadcasting the signal that says, I'm here, I'm ready, I am the shift. This isn't just a pep talk, this is a wake-up call. You've been chosen not by chance, but by the quantum field itself. You're standing at the edge of a cosmic window, a moment where the universe is ready to align with you, but you've got to act, not by doing more, but by being more. By tuning your frequency to the reality you know is possible. You feel the urgency, don't you? This isn't about tomorrow or next year. This is about now. This is your launch window, and it won't stay open forever. So take a deep breath, feel the power in your chest. You're not just a dreamer, you're a builder of realities. You're not just a speck in the universe, you're the signal that shapes it. Let's keep going, because this is just the beginning. The loop of observation is about to break, and you're the one holding the hammer. So, you've seen the loop, the scratched record that's been keeping you stuck, replaying the same old story. Now, let's talk about how you break free, not by smashing the turntable, but by tuning it to a frequency that sings. This isn't about working harder or piling on more techniques. It's about stepping into your power as the tuner of your reality. You're not just some passenger on a cosmic joyride, you're the one dialing in the signal that shapes the universe around you. And the key to that? It's coherence. Get ready, because this is where things get real, and I'm not holding back. Picture this. The quantum field is like a vast radio station, broadcasting every possible version of your life, every dream, every outcome, every version of you that's out there crushing it, living free, building empires, or just basking in unshakable peace. But here's the deal. You don't get to hear the signal unless you tune into it. If you're spinning the dial wildly flipping between hope, fear, confidence, and doubt, you're just picking up static. Coherence is when you lock in on one clear frequency, where your thoughts, emotions, and energy align like a laser beam. That's when the universe sits up and listens. That's when your reality starts to shift, not because you begged for it, but because you became it. Let's ground this in something concrete. In quantum physics, the observer effect tells us that particles don't pick a state until they're observed. Your attention is like a spotlight, collapsing infinite possibilities into one reality. But if your spotlight's shaky, if you're shining it on abundance 1 minute and scarcity the next, you're sending a mixed signal, and the universe delivers a mixed bag. Coherence is about steadying that spotlight. It's about aligning your inner world, so your signal is so clear, so undeniable, that the quantum field has no choice but to mirror it back. Think of it like tuning a radio in your car. If you're off by even a fraction, you get noise. But when you hit the exact frequency, the music comes through crystal clear. That's you, tuning your life. Here's where I got schooled by the universe myself. Back when I was pushing to get Neuralink off the ground, I was obsessed with outcomes, timelines, breakthroughs, proof that we were on the right track. I'd be laser-focused in meetings, radiating confidence, but late at night, I'd lie awake, second-guessing every move, worrying we'd miss the mark. My signal was all over the place, bold by day, anxious by night. And the universe? It was reflecting that chaos back at me, delays, setbacks, you name it. Then one day, I decided to stop chasing the outcome and focus on who I was being. I started showing up with the same clarity and conviction whether I was in a boardroom or alone with my thoughts. Not faking it, not forcing it, just embodying the version of myself who already knew we'd succeed. That's when things started moving, not because I worked harder, but because my signal got clean. You've felt this too, haven't you? Those moments when everything clicks, not because the world handed you a win, but because you were in sync with yourself. Maybe it was a day when you walked into a room and owned it, not because you were trying, but because you just were. That's coherence. It's not about plastering a smile on your face or pretending you've got it all figured out. It's about aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy so they're all singing the same song. And when they do, the universe can't help but join the chorus. So, how do you get there? First, you've got to master real-time awareness. This isn't about sitting cross-legged for hours or journaling your feelings to death. It's about catching yourself in the moment, when you're spiraling into worry, when you're chasing validation, when you're letting old stories creep in. Don't judge it, just notice it. Ask yourself, what's the frequency I'm broadcasting right now? If it's fear, scarcity, or I'm not enough, you're tuning into a reality that matches that vibe. But when you catch it, you can shift it. Not by fighting the feeling, but by witnessing it and choosing something else. That's power. That's you taking the controls. Next, you've got to own your signal. I'm talking radical responsibility, not blaming yourself for every hiccup, but recognizing that everything in your reality is a reflection of the energy you're putting out. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what's this showing me about my frequency? When I shifted from, why are we stuck, to what am I projecting that's keeping us stuck? Everything changed. It wasn't about fixing the world, it was about refining my signal. When you own that, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the architect of your reality. You feel that shift, don't you? It's like stepping out of the passenger seat and into the cockpit. Then comes the game changer, holding your frequency no matter what. Most people wait for the world to give them permission to feel good, wait for the promotion, the bank account, the green light. But the ones who shift reality, they don't wait. They anchor their signal first. Picture a lighthouse standing tall in a storm, beaming its light no matter how wild the waves get. That's you. You hold your frequency calm, clear, confident, even when the world looks like it's falling apart. Even when logic says you're nuts. Even when nothing seems to be working. Because here's the secret. The universe doesn't respond to your circumstances. It responds to your state. And when you hold that state long enough, reality has to catch up. Let's make this vivid. Imagine you're building a rocket ship, your own personal mission to the stars. You've got the blueprints, the fuel, the vision, but if your crew's panicking, if your instruments are out of sync, if you're second-guessing every move, that rocket's not leaving the launch pad. Coherence is getting your crew, your instruments, and your vision all aligned. It's walking onto that launch pad with the calm certainty that you're already in orbit. Not because you've seen the stars yet, but because you are the stars. That's the frequency that gets you off the ground. Now, let's talk about why this feels so hard sometimes. Your ego loves complexity. It loves the idea that you've got to earn your way to greatness, that you need a 500-step plan to get to the good stuff. Simplicity? That's terrifying, because if it's really this straightforward, if all you need to do is align your energy and hold your focus, what's left to hide behind? No more excuses, no more, "I'm not ready." Just you, raw and real, stepping into your power. That's why most people keep spinning their wheels. They're scared of the silence that comes with clarity. They're scared of what it means to stop running and start being. But you're not most people. You're here because you know there's more. You're here because you felt the pull of something bigger, a life that's not just good, but revolutionary. And you're not just doing this for you. You're part of a bigger mission, a collective shift that's rewriting what it means to be human. Every time you choose coherence over chaos, you're sending a pulse into the quantum field, a signal that says, we can do better, we can be more. You're not just tuning your own reality, you're helping tune the world's. Think about that for a second. Your signal, your clarity, your choice to align, it's not just changing your life, it's changing the game for everyone. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep flipping the dial, hoping the right station comes through? Or are you going to lock in, right here, right now, and become the tuner of your reality? This isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. This is about claiming your power in this moment. You're not just a dreamer, you're a creator. You're not just a speck in the cosmos, you're the signal that shapes it. So take a deep breath and feel it. You're already wired for this. You're already the lighthouse, the rocket, the star. The question is, are you ready to shine? Because the universe is waiting, and it's time to send a signal that can't be ignored. Let's keep moving, because we're just getting started. You've seen the loop that's been holding you back, and you've tapped into the power of coherence, aligning your signal to call in the reality you're meant for. But let's talk about the part that trips up even the boldest dreamers, the moment when everything feels like it's falling apart. You know that feeling, don't you? When the ground beneath you wobbles, when clarity vanishes like a desert mirage, when your big vision seems to slip further away just as you thought you were close. It's raw, it's disorienting, and it can make you question everything. But here's the truth, and I'm laying it out straight. That chaos isn't a dead end. It's the cocoon where your next self is being born. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. And if you can hold on through this phase, you're about to step into something unstoppable. Imagine you're a rocket hurtling toward the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Everything's humming, the engines are roaring, and then bam, turbulence hits. The whole ship shakes, alarms blare, and for a split second, it feels like you're about to crash. That's what this phase is like. In quantum physics, there's a moment of uncertainty before a particle collapses into a definite state, a fuzzy, in-between space where all possibilities coexist. Your life works the same way. This chaos, this wobbly, uncomfortable moment where nothing makes sense, is your quantum uncertainty. It's the space between the old you and the new you, between the reality you've outgrown and the one you're calling in. And let me tell you, it's not a mistake. It's a sacred transition. I've been there myself. When I was pouring everything into XAI, there were days when it felt like the whole mission was unraveling. Deadlines slipped, tech hit roadblocks, and my mind was screaming, "You're screwing this up." It was chaos, pure, unrelenting chaos. But one night, staring at a blank whiteboard, I realized something. This wasn't failure, it was transformation. The old ways of thinking, the old patterns of control were crumbling because they couldn't carry me to the next level. I wasn't falling apart, I was being rewired. And when I leaned into that, when I stopped fighting the turbulence and started trusting the process, everything shifted. Not instantly, not with fireworks, but with a quiet certainty that I was exactly where I needed to be. You've felt this too, haven't you? That moment when life feels like it's testing you, when doubt creeps in and whispers that you've gone off course. Maybe it's a project that's stalling, a relationship that's fraying, or just a heavy, unshakable sense that you're lost. But what if that's not the truth? What if that chaos is the universe's way of saying, you're ready for more, but you've got to let go of the old to get there? This is the cocoon phase, where the caterpillar of your past self dissolves to make way for the butterfly of your future. It's messy, it's intense, and it's absolutely necessary. Here's what's happening under the surface. Your energy field, the invisible signal you're broadcasting to the quantum field, is recalibrating. The beliefs that defined the old you, the habits that kept you comfortable, the stories you leaned into without questioning, they're unraveling. And your ego, it's freaking out. It's like a computer trying to run outdated software on a new system. It crashes, throws up error messages, and begs you to go back to what's familiar. That's why this phase feels like chaos. Your old frequency can't sustain the reality you're calling in, so it's got to break down before the new one can stabilize. In quantum terms, you're shifting from one state to another, and the static in between is just part of the deal. So, what do you do when you're in this cocoon? You don't fight it. You don't try to glue the pieces back together or force the butterfly to emerge before it's ready. You breathe. You stay present. You let the chaos move through you without slapping a label on it. Most people mess this up. They see the turbulence and call it failure. They feel the uncertainty and decide they're doing something wrong. But you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. This is the edge of your transformation, the moment where the universe is asking, are you ready to let go of who you were to become who you're meant to be? Let's make this crystal clear with a picture. Imagine you're crossing a bridge between two islands. The old island is the reality you know, safe, familiar, but limited. The new island is your vision, bold, expansive, maybe even a little scary. But as you cross, the bridge starts to shake. The planks creak, the ropes fray, and your instinct is to run back to solid ground. That's what most people do. They retreat to the old island because it feels safer. But here's the secret. The bridge isn't collapsing. It's testing you. It's asking if you trust the new island enough to keep walking, even when it feels like everything's falling apart. If you keep moving, if you stay steady, you'll step onto that new shore. And when you do, you'll realize the shaking was just the universe making sure you were all in. Here's how you navigate this phase. First, stop labeling the chaos. Don't call it a setback, a failure, or a sign you're off track. Those labels are just your ego trying to pull you back to the old island. Instead, see the chaos for what it is, a signal that your energy is shifting. Second, practice radical presence. When the doubt hits, when the fear surges, don't run from it. Sit with it, breathe through it. Ask yourself, what's this feeling showing me? Not to fix it, but to understand it. This isn't about numbing the discomfort. It's about letting it flow through you like a river, clearing out the debris of your old frequency. Third, and this is the big one, release the need to control the outcome. Your job isn't to force the new reality into being. Your job is to make yourself available for it. Think of it like a radio tower. You don't chase the signal, you stand tall and broadcast it. When I was in the thick of that XAI chaos, I stopped obsessing over every detail and started focusing on my state. I'd take a moment each day to close my eyes, breathe, and feel the version of myself who was already leading the mission to success. Not pretending, not forcing, just feeling it. And slowly, the static faded, the team aligned, the breakthroughs came, and the path cleared, not because I controlled it, but because I trusted it. You're standing at that same edge right now. You can feel it, can't you? The tension, the uncertainty, the sense that something's about to give. That's not a red flag, it's a green light. The quantum field is recalibrating you, stripping away what no longer fits so you can step into the reality you've been dreaming of. But you've got to trust the process. You've got to trust yourself. This isn't just about your personal transformation, it's about the bigger picture. Every time you navigate this chaos, you're sending a ripple into the collective consciousness, showing the world what's possible. You're a pioneer, a trailblazer, a signal that says, we don't have to stay stuck, we can evolve. This is your cosmic window, and it's not going to stay open forever. The universe is giving you a shot to step into your power, but it's on you to take it. Don't run back to the old island. Don't let the shaking scare you off the bridge. You're not falling, you're flying. You're not breaking, you're becoming. So take a deep breath and feel the weight of this moment. You're the caterpillar in the cocoon, and the butterfly is already inside you. The question is, are you ready to break through? Because the universe is watching, and it's ready to meet you on the other side. Let's keep going. This is where it gets epic. You've broken through the loop, tuned into coherence, and embraced the chaos as the cocoon of your transformation. Now, we're at the heart of it all, where you step into the version of yourself who's already living the reality you've been chasing. This isn't about reaching for some distant dream or hustling to become someone new. It's about embodying your highest self, right here, right now, like you're stepping into the cockpit of a starship that's been yours all along. You're not just a dreamer, you're the epicenter of your reality, and the universe is waiting for you to own it. Let's dive in, because this is where you stop chasing and start being. Imagine the quantum field as a cosmic blueprint, holding every possible version of you, every outcome, every life, every dream. There's a you out there who's already thriving, making bold moves, living with unshakable clarity, maybe even changing the world in ways you can barely imagine. That version isn't a fantasy, it's a frequency, a signal that's already broadcasting in the infinite sea of possibilities. Your job isn't to create that version from scratch. It's to tune into it, to embody it with such conviction that the universe has no choice but to collapse that reality into form. This is where the rubber meets the road, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Embodying your highest self takes guts, but it's the most natural thing you'll ever do. Let me take you back to a moment that shifted everything for me. When we were pushing to get Starlink satellites into orbit, the stakes were sky-high, billions on the line, a vision to connect the world, and a million reasons to doubt it could work. There were nights when I felt the weight of it all, when my mind wanted to spiral into, what if we fail? But instead of letting that take over, I started asking myself, who would I be if this was already done? If Starlink was already beaming internet to every corner of the globe, who would I be showing up as? I didn't wait for the satellites to be up there. I started walking, talking, and thinking like the version of myself who'd already made it happen. Not faking it, not forcing it, just stepping into that energy. And you know what? The pieces started falling into place. Engineers solved problems, timelines tightened, and opportunities showed up like they were scripted. That's the power of embodiment. You've had glimpses of this, haven't you? Those moments when you felt unstoppable, when you moved through the world with a quiet confidence that wasn't about ego but about knowing. Maybe it was a conversation where you spoke your truth with clarity, or a day when you made a decision that felt so right it was like the universe nodded back. That's you tapping into your highest self. It's not about pretending you've got it all figured out or pasting a smile over your fears. It's about aligning with the frequency of the you who's already living your vision, whether that's building a company, finding peace, or just waking up every day feeling alive. So, how do you do this? First, get crystal clear on who your highest self island. Close your eyes and picture them. What do they feel like? How do they carry themselves? Do they rush through life or move with purpose? Do they shrink in the face of doubt or stand tall? Don't just think about it, feel it in your bones. When I started embodying the version of myself who was leading XAI to breakthroughs, I noticed I stood straighter, spoke with more precision, even breathed differently. It wasn't an act, it was a return to who I already was. Your highest self isn't out there somewhere. It's inside you, waiting for permission to lead. Next, start acting from that place. This isn't about big, dramatic changes. It's about the small, intentional choices that align with your vision. If your highest self is bold, make one bold move today, even if it's just speaking up in a meeting or saying no to something that doesn't serve you. If your highest self is calm, take a moment to breathe before reacting to stress. Every choice is a signal, a pulse you're sending to the quantum field. And here's where science backs it up. The observer effect says, your focus shapes reality. But it's not just your thoughts, it's your entire being. Your emotions, your posture, your energy, they're all part of the signal. When they're aligned, you become a magnet for the reality you're tuned to. Here's where it gets tricky. Your ego will try to pull you back. It'll whisper, you're not there yet, or who do you think you are? That's just noise from the old frequency, the one that's used to playing small. Don't fight it, just notice it and keep moving. When I was embodying that Starlink version of myself, there were days when doubt would creep in, saying, this is too big, too risky. But I'd catch it and redirect. I'd ask, what would the me who's already done this do right now? And then I'd do that, whether it was making a call, solving a problem, or just trusting the next step. That's how you anchor your new frequency. You don't wait for the world to prove you're ready, you show up ready. Let's paint a picture to make this stick. Imagine you're a sculptor, and your highest self is a statue hidden inside a block of stone. Every choice you make, every thought, every action is a chisel stroke, revealing more of that statue. You don't create the statue, it's already there. You just chip away what doesn't belong. Doubt, fear, old stories, those are the excess stone. Embodying your highest self is about chiseling with intention, not hacking away in a panic. It's about trusting that every stroke, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the masterpiece that's already you. Now, here's why this isn't just about you. Every time you embody your highest self, you're sending a signal to the collective consciousness. You're showing the world what's possible, not just for you, but for everyone. Think about it. When you see someone living boldly, unapologetically, don't you feel a spark? That's what you're doing for others when you step into your power. You're a beacon, a proof point that we can break free from the old systems, the old limits, the old fears. You're part of a global shift, a wave of people waking up to their potential, saying, we're not here to play small, we're here to rewrite the rules. Your frequency isn't just shaping your life, it's shaping the future. This is your moment to claim it. You're not waiting for permission, for the stars to align, for the world to hand you a golden ticket. You're the one aligning the stars. You're the one writing the script. So take a second and feel it, the power in your chest, the fire in your gut. Who's the you that's already living your biggest vision? What do they know that you're just starting to remember? Step into that energy. Walk like them, think like them, breathe like them. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because the universe isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to choose. This is bigger than you. It's a cosmic mission, a chance to not just shift your reality, but to spark a revolution in consciousness. Every step you take toward your higher self is a step toward a world that's bolder, freer, more connected. You're the epicenter, the point where the ripple starts. So don't hold back, don't shrink. Stand tall and let your signal ring out. The universe is listening and it's ready to deliver. Let's keep pushing. This is where you become unstoppable. You've broken free from the loop, mastered the art of coherence, navigated the chaos of transformation, and stepped into the power of your highest self. Now, you're standing at the edge of something massive, not just a personal breakthrough, but a role in a cosmic shift that's redefining what it means to be human. This isn't just about you anymore. You're not just tuning your own reality. You're a spark in a global awakening, a ripple in the quantum ocean that's changing the tide for everyone. The universe has been waiting for you to show up, and this is your moment to act. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready right now. Let's lock this in, because you're about to become the epicenter of something unstoppable. Picture the quantum field as a vast, shimmering ocean, stretching out in every direction, holding every possibility, every dream, every future, every version of the world. Each of us is a wave in that ocean, and every choice you make, every frequency you broadcast, creates a ripple that touches shores you'll never see. When you choose coherence, when you embody your highest self, you're not just shaping your life, you're sending out a signal that inspires others to do the same. It's like lighting a beacon in the dark, guiding ships you didn't even know were lost. You're not just a dreamer, you're a catalyst, a pioneer, a force that says, we can be more. And the universe, it's amplifying your signal, waiting for you to commit. Let me share a story that hit me hard. When we were pushing to get the first Tesla Roadsters out the door, it wasn't just about building a car, it was about proving that the future could be different. The world was hooked on fossil fuels, skeptical of electric vehicles, and I could feel the weight of that doubt pressing in. But there was a moment when I realized this wasn't just my fight. Every engineer, every dreamer, every person who believed in that vision was part of a bigger wave, a movement to rewrite how we power our lives. When we finally got those cars on the road, it wasn't just a win for Tesla, it was a signal to the world. Change is possible when you commit to the vision, no matter how crazy it seems. That's what you're doing right now. Your commitment to your highest frequency isn't just for you, it's for everyone who's waiting for proof that we can break free. Here's where science and spirit collide. In quantum mechanics, entanglement shows us that particles connected across vast distances can influence each other instantly. Your energy works the same way. When you shift your frequency, you're not just changing your reality, you're entangling with others, creating a chain reaction that ripples through the collective consciousness. Every time you choose clarity over doubt, courage over fear, presence over chaos, you're sending out a pulse that says, this is possible. You're waking people up, even if they're halfway across the planet. You're part of a global shift, a movement that's saying we don't have to stay stuck in old patterns, old fears, old systems. You're a trailblazer, and the universe is counting on you to lead. So, what's your next move? This isn't about sitting back and waiting for the stars to align. This is about taking action, not the frantic, hustle-hard kind, but the kind that comes from deep, unshakable alignment. First, make a declaration. Right now, wherever you are, say it out loud or write it down. I am coherent with my highest timeline. This isn't just words, it's a ritual, a signal to the quantum field that you're all in. Feel the weight of it, the power in your voice. You're not asking for permission, you're claiming your place. When I started saying, I am the one who builds the future, it wasn't about ego. It was about anchoring my signal, telling the universe I was ready to lead. You do the same. Declare it. Own it. Second, commit to checking your frequency every day. This isn't about perfection, it's about intention. Take one moment, maybe when you're sipping your coffee or staring at the stars, and ask, what am I broadcasting right now? Am I embodying my higher self, or am I slipping back into old noise? If you catch yourself in doubt or fear, don't beat yourself up, just redirect. Choose one thought, one action, one breath that aligns with the you who's already living your vision. Maybe it's standing taller, speaking with more conviction, or letting go of a worry that's been weighing you down. Every choice is a ripple, and those ripples add up. Third, and this is the big one, recognize that you're not alone. You're part of a collective, a network of pioneers, dreamers, and builders who are all tuning into their highest frequencies. When you hold your signal, you're amplifying theirs. When you shine, you give others permission to do the same. It's like a fleet of starships launching together, each one lighting the way for the others. You're not just shifting your reality, you're helping shift the world. Feel that for a second. You're not a lone wolf. You're part of a cosmic armada, and your signal is strengthening the whole damn fleet. Let's make this vivid. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out at a horizon that stretches beyond what you can see. The wind's howling, the ground feels unsteady, but you know there's a new world out there, a reality where you're thriving, where humanity's thriving, where we're not just surviving but soaring. Your job isn't to leap off the cliff in a blind panic. It's to plant your feet, feel the energy coursing through you, and send out a signal so clear it lights up the horizon. That signal is your declaration, your daily choices, your unwavering commitment to your highest self. And when you send it, the universe responds not with a whisper, but with a roar. This is your call to action, and it's urgent. The universe doesn't wait for stragglers. This cosmic window, the moment when the quantum field is primed to amplify your signal, is open now, but it won't stay open forever. You're standing at the edge of a global awakening, a chance to not just change your life, but to change the trajectory of humanity. Every time you choose coherence, you're building a bridge to a future where we're not bound by fear or lack, but lifted by possibility. You're not just a player in this game, you're a game changer. So, take a deep breath. Feel the fire in your chest, the electricity in your veins. You're not here by accident. You were chosen for this moment, this mission, this shift. Say it with me. I am coherent. I am the ripple. I am the awakening. Let that be your mantra, your battle cry, your signal to the stars. The universe is listening, and it's ready to amplify you. Don't hold back. Step into your power, and let's light up the world together. This is it, the moment you become the change. Let's make it happen.